Walt Disney once said, "We keep moving forward, opening new doors and doing new things because we're curious. And curiosity keeps leading us down new paths." And that's what this channel is all about, the Disney Path. The next path for Disneyland and the Disneyland Resort is Disney Forward. And I'm curious about what the next 10 years will hold as Disneyland, Disneyland's California Adventure, Downtown Disney, and the whole resort gets a mega change over the next decade. Some even think, when it's all said and done, we may even get a third park. But this is not the first big path change Disney has been through. So let's take a ride on the Disneyland Railroad and talk about the large changes in the Disney path that we've seen over the years, and then start talking about what comes next. The train's in the Main Street USA station. Let's get on board. As we make our way through the station, we'll take a look at some of the things that are inside. If you've never had a chance to take a look inside, I highly suggest you do that on your next trip. Sitting just inside the train station is a light-up map listing out all of the trains. Not only that, but showing you where they are on the track and where they are in respect to the New Orleans station, Mickey, Toontown station, and Tomorrowland station. So pretty cool if you've never taken a look at this before. Next time you're going to jump on the train, give it a look. As we make our way to the next 3 stations, we're going to take a look at the big pieces of Disney history and how they've made big changes in the path. Number 3 pulling into the Disneyland station. It's the Fred Gurley. Time to get on board.
We're going to continue to move all the way forward and fill in.
All right, almost ready to leave the station. As our train ride is about to begin, I'm just thinking about how lucky I think my family and myself have been over the years. As we're pulling out of the Main Street station here, my family has been enjoying going to Disneyland for 5 generations. My grandma and my mom were able to go in 1956, right after the park opened, and we've all been going back ever since.
Tour of the Magic Kingdom. We'll be stopping at New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. We'll also visit the Grand Canyon.
But of course it all starts with Disneyland in 1955. After Walt has many adventures, many failures, but many successes, Disneyland finally opens up July 17th, 1955, as I think we all know, and we're celebrating the 70th anniversary this year. Disneyland remains the only park that Walt Disney himself got to experience and walk through and be in, and got to enjoy 11 years before his passing in 1966. Although Walt did get to work on the quote-unquote Florida project, it was his older brother Roy O. Disney who took over and was successful in building Walt Disney World in Florida. The Magic Kingdom opened up in 1971. With 2 parks on both coasts, Disney was now able to operate both Disneyland and the Magic Kingdom for about a 10-11 year period or so, until it was time to take a couple of new steps on the Disney path. As we get ready to pull into New Orleans Square station, we'll take a look at how Disney started to expand worldwide.
Making our approach to New Orleans Square station, please remain fully seated until this train comes to a complete stop at the station. This will be your destination.
Make sure to keep watching until the end of the video, when I'm going to give you a hot take on something I think is going to happen as part of the next big piece of the Disney path. As we pull out of New Orleans Square and make our way to the Toontown station, let's talk about the next big expansion on the Disney path. And that would be a 20-year period where 7 new parks were opened up all over the world. The first park that opened up was Epcot, of course, the experimental prototype community of tomorrow. Walt worked on that project. That was his last big project, where he was trying to bring about a blueprint for a kind of futuristic city where people could live, work, learn. But that's not exactly the concept that came to be when Roy finished Epcot and opened it in 1982. The next year, 1983, saw the opening of Tokyo Disneyland, marking the first international park. And just about the same time, we get one of the most influential CEOs in Disney history. There's been a lot of CEOs in Disney's history, but Michael Eisner takes over Disney in 1984. During his 21-year run as CEO of Disney, Eisner does a whole lot. He brings back that kind of Walt Disney-esque feel to the CEO as he appears on TV and is really the face of Disney for most of those 21 years. And there's an impressive list of new parks that opened over that time. In 1989, Disney's Hollywood Studios, that would be the 3rd Walt Disney Park in Florida, opens up, followed by the 1992 Disneyland Park in Paris, then called Euro Disney and renamed Disneyland Paris in 1994. As we continue to make our way on the train around the rivers of America, 1998 saw Disney's Animal Kingdom open up at Walt Disney World, and that rounded out the parks for Disney World. – 2001 became the next really big year for Disney because Disneyland's California Adventure opened here in California, and across the Pacific Ocean, Tokyo Disney Sea also opened in 2001. There's always, of course, 2 sides to every coin, and over that 21 or 20 years of expansion, there are some folks who think that the parks that were built in that time period were maybe a little too much samey, repeaty, and over time the parks were changed and brought about with a little more character that gives them their own special feel. But there's no way to deny that Michael Eisner had a huge impact on the Disney path as Disney expanded worldwide. As we make our way to the Toontown station, it is a lot to take in when you think about over a 20-year period or so. 7 new parks opening worldwide and even more to come. Starting to make our way over to the final destination for us today on our train ride to the Tomorrowland station. Let's talk about the next big thing that happens on the Disney path, and that is the arrival of Bob Iger. Bob Iger was CEO of Disney from 2005 to 2020 and again in 2022. But over his first run as CEO, a lot of things changed on the Disney path. During his time as leader of Disney, Bob Iger opened up 3 new Disney parks. In 2005, Hong Kong Disneyland opened up in Hong Kong. In 2016, Shanghai Disneyland opened in mainland China. And in 2002, Walt Disney Studios Park opened up in Paris. Next year in 2026, the Walt Disney Studios Park in Paris will see a name change that's going to be flipped over to Disney Adventure World. In 2005, Iger oversaw a complete overhaul of Disney's California Adventure. A huge change to not only what the park was about, but what was in the park, an expansion of the park, and really paved the way for downtown Disney, the Disney resort itself, and kind of sets up the next big part, which we'll talk about soon, Disney Forward. Of course, there was the dark times, I guess we could call it, when Bob Chapek was in charge of Disney as CEO from 2020 to 22, but we won't talk about Bruno here. Bob Iger can't serve as CEO forever, so who's next as the leader of Disney? Well, popular belief, and I think a lot of folks would like to see Josh D'Amaro serve as the next CEO. He's currently the chairman of Disney Experiences, but who knows? That's up for the Disney board to decide. We'll all find out together. As our train starts to make its way out of the Tomorrowland station towards the Main Street station, let's talk about why this channel is even here. Disneyland Forward. Disneyland Forward is the $2 billion 10-year plan for Disney to expand the Disneyland Resort. Over the course of the next 10 years, it's going to take a lot of work, it's going to take a lot of planning, it's going to take a lot of effort, but Disney is committed to it. The city of Anaheim has approved it, so everything's moving forward. Here are all the areas that Disney currently owns in the Disneyland Resort area, and not all of them are being used for what will eventually become a much expanded resort. It's easy to start to get excited about Disneyland Forward when you take a look at this conceptual picture of the East Gate after the new parking lot is constructed and after people start walking into what used to be the drive entrance coming off of Harbor Boulevard way back in the day. Any expansion of the existing Disneyland or DCA areas is super exciting, and we are already started. Taking a look right here at what the Avengers Campus will be expanded to with the new e-ticket ride, you can see some of the crane work and some of the work that's already gone on this last couple of months. It's already been announced that we'll be getting a new Coco Dark ride over in the southern eastern part of DCA. And then there's the Avatar area that's taking out a pretty good ride, in my opinion, Monsters, Inc. This is kind of the land that nobody asked for, but it's coming. By far the most exciting announcement coming out of Disneyland Forward is the expansion of the theme parks past the current boundaries of Catella Avenue, Harbor Boulevard, Disneyland Drive, and Ball Road. We're going to get to experience this massive expansion of the Disneyland Resort area with even possibly new theme park, like maybe even a completely new theme park. But we'll get into all that in later videos. For now, we know Disneyland Forward is a go. It's coming. Construction within the theme parks has already started. Everybody's excited. As we get a little closer to the Main Street station, I want to kind of switch gears here and give you that hot take I was promising. Over the course of the next 10 years of the Disneyland Forward project in totality, I think we are going to see a name change to Disney's California Adventure. I don't know what that new name's going to be, but Disney has been very methodically pushing out all of the elements that are part of the California adventure, so it makes a lot of sense that they would change the name to something else. And Disney's not afraid to make name changes of big parks. This year, we are going to see over in Paris the Hollywood Studios name be officially changed to Disney's Adventure World. So there is precedence. There is a will to do big name changes like this. Will that happen? Will the name change come? Well, only time will tell, but if it does, you may have heard it here first. As we pull up to the very familiar side of the Main Street Railroad station, thank you for taking this little journey around the park with me and talking about Disney's past and the very, very exciting Disneyland Forward future. You've got some entertainment and some value out of our time together today. Hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. Let's take this journey together. Thank you for watching the very first video for the Disney Path. My name is JJ, I've been your host, and please remember, be good to each other, be good to yourself, and have fun on the Disney Path.
Disney's Magic Kingdom through the grand